A very good morning. My name is William Chowdhury, matrix number 305-222, and I'm going to give a talk about introduction of CVP, cost volume profit. Cost volume profit analysis is a managerial accounting technique used to understand the relationship between a company's cost, sales volume, and profitability. It helps business determine how changes in these factors affect their operating income or profit. CVP analysis is a valuable tool for making informed decisions about pricing, production, and sales strategy. This is an income statement done by me, William Chowdhury Beach, matrix number 05222, to prove that the CVP. Then this income statement is for Innova Craft Textile Sdn Berhad for the year end 31 December 2024. We can see that the sales revenue is 2.5 million and the total variable cost with variable production cost is 1.25 million and sales commission is 300,000. So total variable cost is 1.55 million. Then after that, need to also minus the total fixed cost which which have fixed manufacturing overhead, digital marketing, website maintenance, factory rental, administrative salaries, and utilities and insurance. So the total fixed cost is 540,000. Then the net profit for the Innov Craft Textiles Nirvan Berhad is 410,000.
My name is Usong Wei and my matrix number is 305156. In this part, we are going to calculate all the items in 2024. To calculate the sales price per unit, we will take sales revenue divided by units sold. Sales revenue for 2024 is 2,500,000 and we'll divide that by units sold which is 100,000 and uh, our sales price per unit is 25. To count the total variable cost, we will sum up all the variable costs, which is variable production cost and sales commission, and what we'll get is 1,550,000. To count the variable cost per unit, we just need to take the total variable cost divided by the unit sold, and what we'll get is 15 ringgit and 50 cents. To calculate variable cost to sales price ratio, we need to take variable cost per unit divided by sales price per unit and multiply by 100. Our variable cost per unit is 15 and 50 cents and divided by the sales price per unit, which is 25 ringgit, and multiply by 100, and then we will get 62%. To calculate the total fixed cost, which we just need to sum up all the fixed costs, which is fixed manufacturing overhead, digital marketing, website maintenance, factory rental, administrative salaries, utilities and insurance, and what we'll get is 540,000. To calculate the contribution margin per unit, we just need to take the sales price per unit minus a variable cost per unit, and what we will get is 9.5 ringgit per unit. To calculate the contribution margin ratio, we just need to take contribution margin per unit divided by the sales price per unit and multiply by 100. And our contribution margin per unit is 9.5 ringgit and our sales price per unit is 25. Then we just need to take 9.5 divided by 25 and multiply by 100, which we will get 38%. And to find the break-even point in unit, we need to take the total fixed cost divided by the contribution margin per unit, which is 540,000 divided by 9.5. In calculator, we'll get 56,842.11. But it's unit, so we count in unit, so we need to round up. So the unit will be 56,843 unit. To find the break-even point in amount, we just need to take the break-even point in unit and multiply by the sales price per unit, which will get 1,421,075 ringgit. To count the net income to sales ratio, we just need to take net operating income divided by the sales revenue and multiply by 100. And our net operating income is 410,000 divided by the sales revenue, which is 2,500,000, and multiply by 100. What we will get is 16.4%.
This is the scenario 1 of Inocraft Textiles and Dewan Berhad. So the scenario 1 is to find the targeted price. We need to determine the quantity and amount of Comfy Sense bedding products the company must sell in 2025 to achieve a 28% net income to sales ratio while assuming all other cost structures remain unchanged. So we see that increasing the raw material cost by 4% is the condition that we need to have. So 1.25 million times 104% to get the new material cost. Then the new production cost is use the new material cost divided by the product will be produced in the period. So it is 13 unit per unit. So the selling price per unit is 25 ringgit per unit, and the sales commission is using the selling price times 12%. It is 3 ringgit per unit. Then the new variable cost will be 13 ringgit plus 3 ringgit per unit, so its total is 16 ringgit per unit. Then we need to find how many product need to produce to achieve the 28% of net income to sales ratio. So we just substitute it in here. 25x, x is the quantity, minus 16x minus the fixed cost 540,000 divided by 25x equals to 0.28. 0.28 is the targeted net income to sales ratio, 28%. So convert into decimal place is 0.28. Then after that we calculate, then we can get x equals to 270,000 units. Then the amount we will get is using 25 per unit per unit times 270,000 units, so we can get 6.75 million. Therefore, the amount of unit that need to produce to target the 28% net income ratio is 270,000 unit, and the total amount to get is 6.75 million.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Nurul Izzah binti Muhammad Badaruddin and my metric number is 305029. S is for part B scenario 2. For this part, I will presentation to price adjustment strategy for Innovacraft Textile Sdn Berhad. The objective of this scenario is to help the company to achieve 20% net income to sales ratio in 2025. However, the sale volume is fixed at 100,000 units, meaning that the company cannot increase the unit sales. So the only suggestion is, or the only option is, to adjust the selling price. On the CVP analysis, we can see that the original variable cost per unit was Rm50 ringgit 50 cent, and with a 40% raw material cost increase, the new variable cost becomes Rm60 ringgit 12 per unit. And the fixed cost also written at 150,000 ringgit, and then the answer is Rm 29 ringgit 89% per unit. Yes, what you can see is financial C summary. As you can see here, so we are going to present the next session. First, in term of risk, increasing the price from RM25 ringgit to RM29 ringgit 89 cent may cause a negative reaction from customer, so that especially when they are feel there is no added value. Since the product is already priced slightly above market average, this new price could be make the company lose competitiveness. There is also the another risk of the sales volume dropping if customers choose to buy from other cheaper brands. If the company sell less than 100,000 units, it will fail to reach its profit target. Now, on feasibility, from a financial point of view, the strategy is completely feasible. It achieved the 28% net income target using valid CVP calculation. The solution is simple and clear. It only changes the selling price without adjusting productions, staff, or marketing costs. However, the market feasibility is not guaranteed. The company must consider how the market will respond. Therefore, the strategy should be one used if the company also improve the product or run a strong marketing campaign to justify the higher price. In summary, while the plan works on paper, it requires careful implementation to succeed in the real world. Thank you. That's all for scenario 2 for part B. So we are going to the next part.
Next, I will explain about the scenario 3 in part B, which is marketing strategy and cost efficiency improvement. The recent situation during 2024, the unit which is sold is 100,000 units. The sales revenue is 2,500,000 ringgit. The variable production cost is 1,250,000 ringgit. The sales commission is 12% of sales, which is 300,000 ringgit. The total fixed cost is cost of manufacturing plus cost of digital marketing plus cost on website plus cost on factory rentals plus admin salaries plus utility costs, which is 240,000 ringgit plus 70,000 ringgit plus 20,000 ringgit plus 60,000 ringgit plus 120,000 ringgit plus 13,000 ringgit, and the total is 540,000 ringgit. But there are occur any change during 2025. The new selling price is 28 ringgit per unit. The sales commission is increased to 60%. The digital marketing cost is increased, and the amount is not specified, but the overall fixed cost is reduced by 13%. The sales volume expected to increase by 100% is 200,000 units. The 4% increase in raw materials cost, which is variable production cost. Next, I will explain about the working step in calculation in scenario 3. Step 1, we will calculate the new variable cost. First, we will calculate the variable production cost per unit during 2024, which is take 1,250,000 ringgit divide with 100,000 units is equal to 12 ringgit 50 cent per unit. But there are some increase with 4%, which is it increased to 13 ringgit per unit. The total variable production cost which is conducted in 200,000 units, is equal to 2,600,000 ringgit. Next is the sales commission, which is include 60% of sales, and we will get 5,600,000 ringgit. But when we multiply with the commission of 60%, we will get 896,000 ringgit. And the total variable cost is the production plus with commission, which is equal to 3,496,000 ringgit. And step 2, we will calculate the new fixed cost, where the original fixed cost during 2024 is 540,000 ringgit. But there are some reduction with 30%, which is become 378,000 ringgit. And step 3, we will prepare the project income statement for 2025. The table below is the income statement of the scenario 3 during 2025. And step 4, which is the last step, is calculate the new income to sales ratio, which is we use the net income, which is 1,726,000 ringgit, divided with sales revenue, which is 5,600,000 ringgit, and we will get 0.3082, or it equal to 13.82%. This scenario 3 strategy lead on the result in a net income to sales ratio of 13.82%, which exceeds the company target, which is 28%. This result can indicate that this plan is achievable and would help Inelcraft Textile achieve its financial goals for 2025.
Assalamualaikum to Prof. Amdan. So I am Adila. Today I'll be presenting scenario 4 for Innova Craft Textile, which explore product enhancement plan involving smart home integration for our confidence building series. The goal is to evaluate whether this strategy will help us achieve our 2025 target net income to sales ratio of 28%. This plan introduced 3 changes. First, raising the variable cost to sales ratio to 57%, which include a 4% increase in the raw material prices. Second, we have increasing digital marketing expenses by 30%. And third, we have boosting total sales volume by 150% through the enhanced product. So let's move on to the financial projections. With a 150% increase, the expected sales volume rises from 100,000 units to 250,000 units, maintaining the price at RM25. So the sale revenue would be RM6.25 million. The variable cost per unit is RM14.25 ringgit, which leading to total variable cost of RM3,562,500 ringgit. We pay a 12% commission, so therefore the commission would be RM750,000 ringgit. The fixed costs include not just marketing and admin costs, but also manufacturing overhead of RM240,000. With the 30% increase in digital marketing, the total fixed cost becomes RM561,000 ringgit. Next, we calculate the contribution margin per unit, which tells us how much profit each unit brings after covering variables costs. The contribution margin per unit in these plans would be RM7.75 ringgit, and the total contribution margin would be RM1,937,500 ringgit. Our net operating income would be RM1,376,500 ringgit. To evaluate performance, our net income to sale ratio has become 22.02%. This is a strong result, but falls short of the 28% target. To conclude, these enhancement plans effectively boost sales and expand Innovakraft market reach. However, the increased costs, especially commission and overhead, limit its profitability. We recommend exploring cost-saving strategies such as automating sales, raising the price slightly, or offering premium bundles. With those tweaks, this innovative plan has the potential to meet or exceed the target.
So next, we analyze scenario 5, which considers two restructuring options for the sales force, and the goal is to increase sale while managing costs effectively. So first, we have option A, which is to raise agent commission to 80%. So we estimate that increasing commission to 18% would boost sales by 50%, resulting in 150,000 units sold. And this generates a total sale revenue of 3.75 million ringgit. And after accounting for higher commission and production costs, the net profits come to 585,000 ringgit, giving a net income to sale ratio of 15.6%. However, this strategy leads to a sharp rise in the variable costs, and profit margins will remain limited. And next, we have option B, which is to hire in-house sales team. So alternatively, the company could employ 8 full-time sales representatives at a fixed salary of 1,700 ringgit per month and offer a lower commission of 4%. This restructuring is expected to increase sales by 17% or 170,000 units. With this model, the company generates 4.25 million ringgit sale with a net profit of 1,166,800 ringgit and a net income to sales ratio of 27.45%, which is close to the target of the company, which is 28%. So we recommend switching to an in-house sales team, because while fixed costs increase due to salary, this model offers greater control, scalability, and higher profitability, making it a more sustainable strategy for a long-term growth.
And last but not least, the scenario that our group recommend is scenario 2, which is price adjustment strategy. That's all. Thank you.